it all comes down to this, taking on the Italians, Sara Errani and Andrea Vavassori. It will be DY, as he's known, to get this one underway.
Left. Second set.
Start by just reminding everyone of the format. If we split sets, then it's a deciding match tiebreak. In the place of the third set, we've got no ad scoring, so if you get to choose, it's a deciding point. So it will rattle along this match. A quick format. Don't have too much time to think out there, especially in a major final.
13.
Been a tricky pair. I guess two lefties, Jimmy, is quite an unusual combination, isn't it? And maybe causes a few problems for teams.
Two lefties with very similar serves. They both really swing the serve. They don't hit too many big flat serves, although Young at 40 love might go for one here. In general, they either get you way out wide or they try to spin it into your hip. As I told you, he'd probably try to hit the flat hard when this point, just because he's up 40 love.
Nice finish.
Townsend.
So one on the board. Let's give you a bit of the backstory, because as Jimmy was telling us, that's part of the story today, isn't it? It's not just the fact that Donald Young is playing his last ever match as a pro and he could finish his career with a major title, which would be some story, but these two go back a long way. Their careers have been intertwined really since Taylor Townsend begun playing the sport under the guidance of Donald's father, Donald Young Sr., when his family moved to Atlanta. She was around 8 years of age. Then incredibly, Donald Young, first of all, he was a teenage prodigy in the US, wasn't he? Very, very good junior, won the Australian Open junior title age 15. Won a couple of junior Grand Slam titles.
Youngest #1 ranked junior in history at 15.
And another crazy part of their journey, having inspired Taylor Townsend to play and believe that she could be a professional tennis player. She could work her way through the ranks, juniors first and then into the seniors. Then she goes and wins the Australian Open juniors as well. Singles and doubles.
And the other interesting part of her story is she's right-handed, Taylor Townsend. And
15.
The Youngs, I think it was Donald Young's mom is the one who said you don't move well for whatever reason when you have the racket in your right hand, switch to your left hand. And she's done that ever since.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
It's a good decision. She's a Grand Slam champion now after claiming her first major trophy at Wimbledon on the grass with Katerina Siniakova. Young Senior has played such a part in the journeys of both players. I think I caught a glimpse of Nick Monroe in the box as well, one of our broadcasting colleagues from up here high up inside Arthur Ashe Stadium.
A heck of a pickup first volley from Vavassori that time, as the return was right at his shoe top and he got something on the volley amazingly. So one of the biggest parts in mixed doubles is
Taylor, Townsend
holding
to serve.
the WTA player serve. And that's one of the reasons why I think Townsend's so good in dubs. Her lefty serve is tricky, and it's effective. And
15 love.
even Vavassori, he's not going to be happy when he has to run as far outside the doubles alley as he's going to have to. And I think she's going to mix in serves to that forehand hip. Those are the two staples of her serving.
By Vavassori moving forward.
30
The
love.
serve, Jimmy, right into the Italian's sort of body, wasn't it? And it's swinging in. It's nasty, that lefty.
That's what she's trying to do. The one thing that Donald Young, maybe because, and maybe by now, I called his quarterfinal, their quarterfinal win. And Donald Young is not
13,
moving
15.
as much as the doubles players are moving. So Townsend's got to hold serve almost on her own, which makes it difficult. And you can see how Vavassori didn't let one ball get past him. Young will be happy to watch some of the points because I think he's still not as confident because he hasn't played for a couple of years. Covered that in the middle.
14,
Literally in the
15.
quarterfinals, there were 5 balls that went right past his ear, just about like that. So it's good to see. He's come out in the finals and played, if anything, more confidently.
Bright start, smoking winners. These opening 3 games. So we're on serve after 3 games played. 2-1.
Townsend Young lead by 2 games to 1. First set.
It was a great opening service game. Taylor Townsend. It was an emotional day when she finally claimed her first major title at Wimbledon on centre court at the All England Club. That was earlier this summer with Siniakova. Siniakova, incidentally, winning 2 doubles majors back-to-back. French Open, Wimbledon, with 2 different partners. One with Coco Gauff in Paris, and then teamed up with Taylor to win Wimbledon. So the phone must be blowing up with requests to play play doubles.
Obviously, I like that last game from Donald Young because he did get involved. He did help Townsend, and now I'm going to be very interested to see what Vavassori can do. There's that low volley that I couldn't believe he hit with some pace from that position. He's going to be throwing in about a 60-mile-an-hour powder puff. And if I was Vavassori at the net, I'd be nervous.
Tie. Errani to serve.
So Errani serving 1-2 early on in this mixed doubles final.
I mean, she almost couldn't reach the toss that she just threw up. So just to give you an idea of the serve issues. And that happens a lot. Is she gives you a absolute nothing serve and the player tries to crush it and they make some errors. They're not accustomed to a ball traveling at that speed. And it's not easy if you're a little bit nervous and Vavassori's moving. He's making himself felt up there at the net.
There we go. Taylor doing a better job. Yeah, and I guess you miss a few and then you just get tighter and tighter and more frustrated.
Yes.
Because you can't believe that you're missing these returns. Solid strike. Almost. Some sharp reactions from the Americans.
15-30.
A bit of pressure here. The Italian third seeds. They saved a match point in the first round. Survived that and got better and better through the draw.
I don't remember Errani when she's playing doubles and winning all those majors. She doesn't serve and volley. That was a serve and volley we just saw from her. I love the call. I mean, at this point, Errani, she's saying, I'm going to try to hit it in that box over there.
Yes. A good move.
40-30.
That could be a key today. How much Vavassori can get involved and help his partner out up at the net.
Here's a look at that serve. That toss was actually in the right spot. She doesn't bend her arm all the way, but a lot of it is just her toss gets wayward.
Game, Errani, Vavassori.
So an opening hold
2 games all.
for Errani.
You can see how pumped the Italians are because they know that that's the game that it's going to decide whether they can compete.
A reminder to download the US Open app. And on there you can follow all your favourite players. You've got live scores, all the stats, match highlights, day-by-day schedules. New this year, you can watch live 3D views of all the singles matches. That's available on the App Store and Google Play Store.
Serve because of the width that it had, and then Townsend hit it away with impunity.
Good defense from Errani.
Very good. That's one of the things Young likes to do is he's going to hit a very spinny forehand. So it's got pace, but it also has a lot of movement to it and dips. And a lot of the players have struggled to volley that ball. Errani has great hands, does a lot of good work when she gets to the net.
I think she might have just lost a vibration dampener there when she was making that volley. Vavassori was looking in the photographer's pit. It's just pinged off and flown over the fence, that one. So Vavassori to step up to the line. 2-3 first set. Breakthrough season for Vavassori this year. Number 9 in the doubles rankings, ATP rankings, top 10 player. Has played a bit of singles as well from time to time this year. I remember he played Sinner in Miami this year. Got into the main draw of that Masters 1000 event. So you do see him on the singles court from time to time.
It's difficult when you start doing so well in doubles that you're in the 1000s, but you can't play singles. Your ranking's not high enough.
Yeah,
I think that's the end of the world for Vavassori, simply because he is 29 years old. So he's had his go at singles and it hasn't quite worked out. But still ranked high enough to, he played in the qualifying here.
Yeah, he actually snuck into the Olympic singles draw as well and had a win there. So what an experience that would have been in Paris. But Pedro Martinez. As well as playing in the doubles events. Played with Errani there in Paris. They played Wimbledon together. So 3 tournaments they've played this summer. It's the Italians team. Top right of that picture, some people might recognize that guy. He was part of Matteo Berrettini's journey here. Back in, I'm going to have to guess the year, Jimmy. When did Matteo make the semis here? I'm thinking like 2021 maybe?
Yeah.
Before that.
He's the restaurant owner that we'll never forget, because he's screaming outside the grounds back in the COVID year for Berrettini.
Yeah, so it must, based on that, must have been 2019 when he made the semis, and then he was a big part of the story. He was on TV a lot. Berrettini was.
40-30.
Matteo was eating at his restaurant. Part of that journey into the semis here of the singles that year, and then he wanted to support him. Came back in 2020. There were no fans, so he stood outside the back fence near Stadium 17, I think, sort of with a, I think with a like a megaphone.
It had to be as loud as it was.
Supporting Matteo from the other side of the fence, but he's back. Good to see him.
Is very dangerous with that forehand going at a net player. It has spin, it has pace, and it also is a break chance now for Townsend and Young.
Yeah,
break point and
point.
Game point for both teams.
Yeah, first deciding points of this opening set. It's a big point for both. The rules in the mixed, incidentally, deciding points. If the guy's serving, he has to serve to the other guy down the far end as part of the mixed doubles rules here at the US Open. Oh, he's pushed it long. That was a chance. The Italians survive.
Again, Errani up at the net. Doing some great racket work, because those were 2 sharply hit balls at her, and she stood tall through both of them, and then had the presence of mind to know that last one was going long.
Taylor's 8th in the world in the doubles rankings, top 10 now after that Wimbledon title. Just inside top 50 singles as well, so very, very respectable WTA singles ranking. She's, of course, a mum as well to her 3-year-old son. The chip charge. Decent volley, but a beautiful, as you said, topspin lob. Couldn't have placed it any better.
Again, you see how well Vavassori shrunk the space for Townsend to hit that ball, and he was on top of the net and all the way across already. That's where, if there is a rally with Errani and Townsend and the two men up at the net trying to impose themselves, it's Vavassori who's going to get further over, or at least pinch the court more. He's got a great serve, especially to the ad side. She hits the wide one so wide, and just saw a beautiful flat bomb from her.
Yes, I can mix things up to game points.
Game.
Big time serving from Taylor Townsend. The Americans up 4-3 first set. On tour to get this 8th game underway. I'm familiar with that term. That's when you've won all the 4 majors: Australia, French Open, Wimbledon, US Open, and an Olympic gold medal. That's
yeah, you
going.
basically have won everything that you would like to win, or hope to win, or dreamt of winning.
And she's been world #1 in doubles as well.
But it's not the strength of consistency of her ball touch. I was going to say, one of the shots they're going to have to use, Townsend and Young, is a couple of lob returns, because you can see how Vavassori is inches from the net. So either you have to hit it so big at him that he gets a little bit worried and flinches and isn't so confident. But right now he's on top of the net and picking off everything. I mean, it should be very easy for Young to get a forehand on this return and just rip it. Pick a spot and rip it.
30-15.
You mentioned that French Open final she made in singles. She actually made the semis here as well in singles. So in 2012, Serena beat Victoria Azarenka. And a memorable women's singles final, 5 in the third. And losing to Serena in the semis. Vika beat Sharapova in the other semi-final. She's achieved an awful lot over a decent period of time. Comes through another game.
I mean, it's 4 straight pickoffs by Vavassori at the net from inches from the net.
He's
Why not just
so
go
close, isn't he?
Just either go so hard right at his chest. Don't allow him to reach. But look, his backswing starts from over the net, and he just has to touch the ball.
Fabulous camera shot there. Illustrate the point. He's not far off, actually.
15 low.
Reaching over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very close, isn't he? I just wonder whether Townsend and Young are aware of just how close he is. We do have video review technology available.
13 low.
Have a look at one or two of those during this match. Part of the 2024 US Open across 8 courts this year. Beautiful.
30-15.
Very quick between points, these two pairs.
Frustrating return from Vavassori, because just by the reaction that Donald Young had after that missed return, you know, he didn't want to be in a rally there. Very excited that he got out of it with a missed return on a second serve. It's going out.
celebrating another good reaction volley.
I'm very impressed with what she's been able to do. Again, Donald Young's had a good look at a couple of forehands at point-blank range, and Errani's been up to the task so far.
Of course, these days with Jasmine Paolini, it was Roberta Vinci that she won all those majors with. As Jasmine Paolini has burst onto the scene this year, they formed a formidable doubles partnership. They won on home soil in Rome. That was a huge deal. Crowds, after they won that title at the Foro Italico. They have a new footbridge there that connects the centre court to the player facilities, and you get these huge crowds underneath. Beautiful, the bridge.
30-15.
Hundreds and hundreds of Italian tennis fans celebrating that win. It's one of the best returns yet. And 15 winners the Americans have struck.
Errani, Vavassori.
First ace from this team to level at 5 games apiece.
Ironically, there's 2 aces for Townsend and Young. Both of those aces by Townsend, ending her last service game.
But sorted things out quickly.
15 low.
Yeah, Townsend did a pretty good job. That thought that Young was going to get to the return of serve. When he didn't, she had a backhand grip and somehow managed to slide a slice forehand deep into the corner.
30 low.
That's going to be the issue for Townsend. If Errani can make a good enough return, that next shot, Vavassori has proven that he's everywhere. Townsend will be hard pressed to get the ball past him.
So big point, 5-all, 30-all.
It's a pickleball volley, I think, from Donald Young, who's now a pickleball pro.
The wide forehands, just enough on it.
You see the difference
30,
from a player that's playing exclusively doubles. Vavassori is over the net. We showed you that net shot where he almost was over the net. Young, a foot or two from the net, and that allowed the ball to get into a tough spot for him, and it's also allowed a couple of break chances now for the Italians.
So the Vavassori goes with the chip and charge again. Oh, well done. Need to be careful with the forehand over the high part of the net. She did awfully well.
He just left a second too early, even though obviously this was some sort of called poach because Vavassori was covering behind. Good work from Townsend there under pressure.
Yeah, did well to just focus on the forehand, didn't she? A lot of movement going on down the far end. This is another deciding point. Break point for the Italians. Game point for the Americans. No, it's long. And the Italians break. 6-5. To start game 12.
15 love.
That was brave as well for Errani. Vavassori looking to hit an overhead, and she says, calls him off. No, I got the swinging volley placed just perfectly.
Clever volley, wasn't it? Just taking pace off and angling that volley away, pulling Errani out of position.
Let's.
Lovely player to watch, Taylor Townsend, isn't she? So naturally gifted the way she strikes the ball. Comfortable coming forward.
That was not a serve that fills you with confidence. It almost hit the net post. That's why that second serve toss went haywire.
Net on the way over, but the forehand was
15-30.
Errani, I don't know how she reached her toss.
It was miles away, wasn't it?
She really had to get... It's funny how she doesn't catch the toss all that often. Maybe she doesn't want to catch it more than once. I mean, that one's unhittable. They've got to go behind Vavassori a couple times, I think. He's everywhere. And also, because he's so close to the net, you can get a lob over his head. At least maybe start with that. Lob over the head and both of you crash to the net.
Jones did well to get up to what was a really good lob. So chances now for the American team to break. A bit of noise from those court side. the break.
Townsend Young. 6-game-all, first sets, a tie-break.
Well, it's fairly obvious who most of these fan sports side want to see finish out on top of this match. A lot of support for the American team, as you would expect.
No, especially because it's the final tournament, final match of Donald Young's career.
Into a breaker. Again, it is Vavassori playing a starring role.
Errani, Vavassori.
Townsend did so well to defend the net for so long. So with the early mini break.
Errani, Vavassori.
That was fairly dangerous.
That was close.
Another couple inches, that would have not felt great.
Job she's done there.
Incredible.
3-0.
What was that first signal that she
Errani,
gave
Vavassori.
to Vavassori? Was that if you miss this serve, I stick my finger at you?
Reaction of Errani so far in this first set. I mean, Donald Young has smoked that backhand up the line.
Smoked and with spin. That combination is so hard to volley. If it was just flat, I wouldn't be quite as impressed.
Putting together a very, very good tiebreak here, the Italian team, which is a good effort given they served for it 6-5 and that service game slipped away. They're straight back on it.
You can see Errani saying, let's not let up, because the one thing she knows is that she's got two serves coming and she has not a whole lot of confidence in that stroke. So in Errani's mind, let's keep this rolling now.
Razor sharp reactions again from the Italians.
Yeah, Vavassori that time came up with something special. I don't know how he did it. And then eventually that sitter.
So a 5-0 lead should be enough. Especially with volleys like that. I mean, they've just come to life, haven't they, at the right time in this breaker. Didn't expect it to be this one-sided. Can't really have played a much better tiebreak the last 2 or 3 minutes.
I don't even think Townsend Young have played poorly necessarily. This is 6-0, 6 mostly tremendous points.
Well, it's not often you have the luxury of switching ends in a tiebreak with 6 set points to look forward to.
No,
it's a good feeling, right?
It can't be a poor one, that's for sure. What's interesting is that total points won 36-35. So it was Townsend and Young who'd had the most pressure on Errani and Vavassori.
Well, that is a quite astonishing tiebreak they've played. 7-0.
15 love.
So set number 2. The Italians serving first. They've actually switched ends serving, so it's Vavassori who's kicking off the set for the Italian team.
13 love.
Well, I think sometimes that would make a difference, but not much wind and maybe none inside Ash because it is a very well protected court. There's only, it's an outside court, but it's only outside by a few feet. Up at the very top, it seems as though this almost has the feel of an indoor.
14.
Yeah, I guess in a doubles, if you've won the first set and things are going well, normally you'd probably stay the same end that you're serving
Normally,
for the second set.
Of course, in the Errani Vavassori team workup, you're going to have Vavassori serving first, whether he's serving into the sun, into a hurricane, whatever it is.
So in theory, they can make a nice fast start to this second and also carry that momentum over from the tiebreak because, goodness me, they didn't put a foot wrong. Just wondering how Townsend and Townsend were feeling when they sat down, because as you said, Jimmy, they didn't really have much of a chance to do anything wrong in that breaker, did they? It was just...
No, it was incredible reflexes and shots that were coming off the Errani Vavassori racket. It's now 11 points in a row and counting. And this next game is a massive game for Townsend and Young. They've got to stop the momentum. Right now, it'll be Donald Young to start.
So they've switched ends as well, haven't they, in terms of which ends they're serving from. Has made a doubles final in the past, men's doubles Grand Slam final on the Paris clay, Donald Young, a few years ago. 2017. Santiago Gonzalez. He's made the fourth round of the singles here at the US Open in the past as well.
Let's serve.
Career best ranking of 38 in the singles. That's presumably the signal for a body serve, I would imagine, or
that must have been.
Yeah.
Or Donald missed his spot by a few feet.
Good hands.
Townsend Young. 1 game all, second set.
Okay, so the bleeding is stopped for now. So this now a very important game again for Townsend and Young, simply because Errani serving this. You know, this is your major chance. She's going to serve twice, most likely in this set.
No 15. You
can see how frustrated players are because that return looks like it's easy because it didn't have a whole lot on it to serve, but you also have to realize Vavassori is in your vision.
Oh, that's amazing. Again, Donald Young has absolutely smacked that return, and Vavassori's on top of the nets. Reactions today have been incredible at times.
This is the one where I kept thinking they should be hitting it right at his chest, and that's exactly what happened. And now I know why you can't do anything about it. All he does is duck under the net and stick his racket up.
So 30-all chance developing maybe for the two lefties from the US. Looks rock solid from Errani. Well with the first volley.
14-30.
Yeah, that's where Young running around and smashing the point before at Vavassori now froze him a little. He didn't move. Now you can get the ball to Errani for a first volley, but she volleys so well that it didn't do them any good.
Too many deciding points. Here comes another. Fans inside Arthur Ashe Stadium recognizing that this is an opportunity to start this second set on the right foot. Oh, that's going to be frustrating. It's another hold for Sara Errani. The Italians up 2-1. Missed that deciding point chance in game 3. Let's see how Taylor Townsend reacts. So tight this match. Maybe a bit of frustration starting to creep in. First forehand a little on the wild side. Return.
15.
Doesn't hope that time. Maybe just didn't quite knife that.
No,
that slice enough.
Was not a return. That's Young should be not allowing that little chip ever. That time he made the move across, but again he went straight across. He wasn't on top of the net. It made for a tougher volley.
No, missed it. So a couple of poor misses in this game.
15-30.
Dragged that one wide, not by much.
No, that one actually looked to me as though she didn't want to hurt Vavassori. She had an overhead, and the easiest shot would have been right at him because of the position of the ball and where her body was. It looked as though she didn't want to do that, and that's what caused it to go just wide.
So a chance here, 15-30. The Italians' second serve. More aggressive return that time.
15-40.
Struggled in this game, Taylor Townsend. Couple of misses, the missed overhead.
2 forehand first ball errors, and that missed overhead has gotten her in this hole.
So the Italians with a luxury of at least 3 break points coming up. It's just deep. So they convert the first, and they are the first to make a move in set number 2. Strong turf friend, getting excited. He always has here at the US Open, hasn't he? Some wild scenes in the box. 2019. Just a reminder to head to usopen.org. That's the official tournament's website. This final major of the year, your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, all the draws there as well. usopen.org.
15.
Into the final weekend. Too far away. Ladies semi-finals this evening from 7 o'clock. 2 Americans in action. Emma Navarro and Jess Pegula. Pegula's big win over Iga Świątek last night. Men's semis tomorrow, remember? Tomorrow afternoon from 3 o'clock local time here in New York. Sinner playing Draper in that first semi-final. All-American semi-final. That's the night session. Taylor Fritz, Francis Tiafoe. Big few days for American tennis around the corner.
Well, it was an amazing quarterfinals for the U.S. players. There were 4 of them that were all underdogs, at least by ranking. And all 4 are now in the semifinals. And 3 of the 4 semifinals from the U.S. have never been to a semi before.
The Italians starting to pull away, maybe.
Errani, Vavassori lead by
Not too far from victory now. 4-1 second set.
And by 1 set to love.
Errani, of course, knows what it feels like to win major titles on the doubles court. Twice an Australian Open champion. She's won the French Wimbledon and here at the US Open once as well. We mentioned the Olympic gold medal. A new feeling for Vavassori if he does taste victory this afternoon. 2 finals this year in men's doubles down in Melbourne. Simone Bolelli, fellow Italian, lost to Ebden and Bopana in that final. Final French as well. Lost to Arevalo and Pavic in that final, but he's really enjoying this stage of his career. He's worked his way into the Italian Davis Cup team as well. He'll be in action back home in Italy next week. Davis Cup tennis takes over, so that's going to be a quick turnaround there in Bologna in that group.
Well, this is a very important 2 games for Young and Townsend if they want to still have a chance in this mixed doubles final. They've got to hold Donald Young, and they're going to have to break Errani, or it's hard pressed to see how they'll get out of the hole.
Getting fired up.
Yeah, Townsend knows it as well. This next 5 minutes will determine whether they have a chance or not. So nice start for Townsend and Young.
There we go. Some good energy from Taylor Townsend in particular.
30 love.
Perhaps that feeling that this final's slipping away. Needs to do something quickly.
Can't believe the move that Vavassori makes. He did it again. The ball wasn't anywhere near him that time, but he almost sits on the court and just puts his racket up. Just missed his racket. Everyone keeps hitting it.
40-15.
It's been a good service game. Bags of energy from these two. Feels like Taylor Townsend is the sort of team leader on court.
Townsend Young.
Determined to turn this match around.
Errani, Vavassori lead by 4 games.
And this is the
2.
game that
Second set.
the turnaround has to start, or I don't think they'll be able to turn it around. So this now a must-win game. For Young, hit a forehand off this serve. I don't care where the serve goes. Get around it and rip a forehand.
There we go. Good start.
Love 15.
The duck and cover from Vavassori. Watch. This time he couldn't get his racket to get to it, but he almost sits on the court.
Yeah, just trying to get in Donald's eye line, isn't he? Just
Yeah.
make it awkward. Kind of misses that will be driving Taylor Townsend crazy. She knows it's a forehand she should make, and she's got to make at this stage.
But even if she had made it, Vavassori was going to knock that off. He was right there. She's got to figure out a way to get it away from him.
Missed one. So a bit of pressure.
15-30.
Might have been one of the easiest shots that they've missed, the Italian pair. Vavassori has made so many volleys that are tougher than that one.
Able to develop the points and take Vavassori out of the equation that time.
Finally, the lob has been sorely missing and lacking in this
15-14.
strategy from Townsend and Young, and that time Townsend used it and used it well. Break points galore in the must-win game.
The Americans break. And they could be back in business in this second set. Back on serve. Errani and Vavassori ahead 4-3. This felt like it came from pure determination.
From Townsend?
Yeah.
She's the one who
just switched it on there.
You could feel that the momentum, that the way the tiebreak, it was almost a punch to the stomach, the way that first set tiebreak went. It was 7-0, but it was the way the points went that it took the wind out of both Townsend and Young, and they finally recovered once they were down 4-1. This is now still not an easy game. Townsend serve game. She's been broken the last 2 times. Donald Young needs to make his presence at the net felt a little bit more than he has. If you remember her first service game, he did make 2 poaches. Helped her hold serve comfortably.
So Taylor Townsend level now, 3-4. 4-1 down, remember. 8 of the last 10 points have gone their way.
Love 15. 15 all.
Big serves and still the big emotion all coming from Taylor Townsend. She's calling the serve. She's telling Donald where he needs to be.
Recovery almost complete. Job getting that backhand down low, made it easy for her partner. Still hopes for the Italians that they can nick another break here.
Look at how much further, how skinny the court is for Townsend to hit. She managed to hit it in the alley, but he's got to recognize that he's got to apply some pressure in the baseline points.
Oh dear. A couple of volleys he's missed in this game. And all of a sudden, this is a huge pressure point for the Americans, with Vavassori coming up. Serve next. So if they do break here, I'm going to fancy him to hold. It's a big hold of serve. You've got to have a lot of admiration for Taylor Townsend. The last 15 minutes or so, she's
4 games all, second set.
Displayed such drive and determination to take this second set by the scruff of the neck.
That last volley she hit is the kind that is easier to miss than you might imagine. She handled it beautifully under the circumstances, under the pressure. What a performance these last couple of games Townsend has put out there.
So from 4-1 back to 4 games apiece. Another tight set unfolding. Big body serve.
15 love.
It's been a rock today, Vavassori.
Game.
Great service game. just when they needed it.
Errani,
Got
Vavassori
the second set
lead by 5
back on
games to
track.
4.
They're up
Second
5-4,
set,
just a game
final
away.
set to love.
Just recognising that they just need to inject a bit of their own energy into their games, having watched Taylor Townsend take over for 10 minutes or so. US Open doubles final in the past is Taylor. That's why Wimbledon was so emotional. She came close a couple of times. Runner-up in 2022 with Katie McNally. Leylah Fernandez partnered her on the way to the French Open final. That was last year. So it was third time lucky in terms of getting across the line in a major doubles final.
For Donald Young, he's never won a title. Been to 4 finals, 2 in singles, 2 in doubles. Not majors, any tour event. A great way it would be for him to end his career, having won his first title and happens to also be a major. But he's got to hold serve to stay in this final.
Let's see how he deals with the pressure here. Great job Errani did there, with initially with the forehand up the line, created the gap and was quickly onto the backhand.
This is why she's so good in doubles. She has such a great feel of where to place her shots.
Chance. Forehand he knows he should have made.
15-all.
It's getting tense out there.
It is. Again, great volleying from Errani. She had to come up with a couple of difficult spots, and she hit them in deep into the court.
Pushed it wide. Errani moving forwards. Perhaps you could see that move out of the corner of his eye, but he knows it's a volley. You've got to make this situation down 4-5.
That turned into a difficult shot in some ways, because you're right, Errani shrunk the court on him. She was coming forward. And don't forget, in this scoring system, he loses one more point, and we're at a match point.
Just long.
30-all.
That was a gutsy second serve from Young, and a great leave by Townsend. You have only a split second to make that decision, whether that ball's going long.
Vavassori had a play on that.
40-30.
He left it. That was a different form than any shot he's seen. They've all been hit so hard. That one was hit with a looper to it, and it's just because he's so close to the net, Vavassori, he must have thought, that can't go in. It's over my head. But it didn't have the same amount of pace.
And Donald Young with the hold of serve. The Americans still alive.
5 games all, the second set.
Townsend and Young will be breathing a sigh of relief. Still going, this dream of theirs to combine for a US Open title.
No, perhaps a little momentum for them as well. Don't forget, if they win this set, it's a match tiebreak. anybody is going to have a chance. It's an even shot. So Errani serving here. This is an opportunity for Townsend and Young.
Some sort of distraction just to her right, but we're good to go. 5 games apiece.
15.
Two down.
13.
Don't forget the lob is available to get the ball past Vavassori. Then you can position yourself at the net, and it's harder for him to make any moves once you're already there.
There we go. I've seen that so many times today. It just seems to be in the right spots at the right time.
I mean,
it's the sort of volley you might see down the sort of local park, isn't it?
He's hit more winners from his backside, almost sitting down on the ground and just putting his racket up and maneuvering his racket to the ball.
Kind of like a sort of frying pan volley, isn't it? It's so effective. And holds to love. Goodness me. Well, a different story compared to Sara Errani's last service game.
And by 1 set to love.
So there'll be more pressure to come for the Americans. To hold to stay in it once more. 6-5. So the young lady has cheered up a bit since the last time we saw her. Good to see so many kids around the grounds today. Free entry today, incidentally, so good opportunity for people to get through the gates. Plenty going on around the outside courts as well, with junior events coming to a conclusion, junior wheelchair tournaments as well. No senior wheelchair or professional wheelchair events this year because it coincides with the Paralympics over in Paris. So we're missing our stars of wheelchair tennis this year. They will be welcomed back in 12 months' time.
Time.
So all eyes on Taylor Townsend now, who has to hold. Great start, combining beautifully.
Love 15.
You can sense this is an opportunity. Oh, it's made it.
Love 13.
Well, only he will know whether he was.
No, I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was a lucky return.
Okay.
He was a little bit late, and it happened to land in a perfect spot for him.
It was effective.
Yes, it was.
2 points away from the title. And they're almost there.
Love 40.
These two moments in this match. 7 straight points to win the tiebreak. And Vavassori won the last 7 points here in this set.
First one saved, with another 3 to come
40.
for Taylor Townsend and Donald Young to negotiate with the deciding point around the corner. Sarah Errani can get her team over the line. Championship point number 2. Kidding me.
And Townsend to her box says that's 2. Still 2 to go.
40.
This one, I don't know how she got out of this because Vavassori has been so good and so active at the net, but a beautiful half volley just slid behind him.
Third chance for the Italians. They've done it. Sarah Errani and Andrea Vavassori are US Open champions. That's what it means. It is a 6th major doubles title for Errani, and it's a first for Vavassori. And it wasn't quite to be for the Americans in Donald Young's last ever match as a professional. A fabulous journey they've enjoyed, but the trophy will go to these two. Yet another Italian success story on tour. Champions in New York today, 7-6, 7-5.
That was some remarkable reflexes and big point winning shots that we saw from the Italians. It was just a minute and a half in each set that spelled the difference and allowed them to end up winning this title.